Chapter 16, Mishnah 1. An object can become Tameh only if it is considered a Kli. By definition, a Kli is something that can perform a useful function. From this, we learn two things. One, if a Kli is broken and can no longer perform its intended function, it cannot become Tameh or remain Tameh if it was Tameh before it broke, as we have learned in Chapter 15, Mishnah 1, and also Chapter 3, Mishnah 1. Two, if the utensil was in the process of being made, but is not yet usable, it cannot become Tameh. The following Mishnah discusses these 2 points. Any wooden utensil that was Tameh and then broke into 2 parts becomes Tahor. Furthermore, if the utensil was Tahor and then broke, the broken pieces can no longer become Tameh. This is with the exception of a folding tabletop, a variety platter, i.e. a large dish that is made up of many compartments, each one holding a different type of cooked food, and the ephiphoron of a householder, a type of wooden chair or bench made of combined sections. If any of these 3 utensils was Tameh and then broke into 2 parts, each of the pieces remains Tameh because each part by itself is a Kli, since it can be used on its own even without the other part. For the same reason, if any of these utensils was Tahor and broke into 2 parts, the pieces can still become Tameh. Rabbi Yehuda says also the Magius and how do you pronounce that? Hamages. Okay, Rabbi Yehuda says also the Mages and the Babylonian Code types of food platters have the same laws as those utensils just mentioned. If they break in half, each part keeps its tuma status as a separate utensil. The Mishnah now defines at what point various utensils acquire the status of a Kli and thereby become capable of becoming Tameh. This Mishnah discusses the law of a bed. In the times of the Mishnah, a bed was made of a rectangular wooden frame with ropes woven from one side to the other. The frame would be sanded with the rough skin of a fish and then polished. What is the earliest point when wooden utensils can contract tuma? A bed and a cradle can become Tameh from when the craftsman smooths their surface by rubbing it with the rough skin of a fish to remove the wooden splinters. Since the bed or cradle is fit to be used after it was sanded down with fish skin, it acquires the status of a Kli at that point and becomes subject to tuma, even though it was not yet polished. If, however, the person decided not to finish smoothing them, but rather to use the bed or the cradle as is, even though it is not entirely smooth and totally free of splinters, it can become Tameh right away, since it is considered a Kli. Rabbi Meir, however, says a bed is subject to tuma from when the craftsman weaves 3 rows across the width of the bed, even though the weaving was not completed and the wood was not smooth.